I think that it's really valuable if you're going to start with one test and you have a limited budget to hair. You see the most, it's the whole periodic table, and we understand that's something we agree on as a world society, that these are the elements that exist on the planet. If you do some other test and you ignore that, it's really dumb. Let's be honest, it's just dumb.
Going back to the hair testing versus blood testing, you mentioned that hair testing is more valuable. Mm-hmm. And is it because blood testing doesn't show you good results, or that the reference values for bloods is all messed up anyway?
Well, that's a great point as well. The reference values for blood are messed up. It was taken from a sick population.
Exactly. Yeah, so for the viewer, the way, you can correct me if I'm wrong, and the way reference values for bloods, so you go to the doctor, you want to know if you're healthy or not, let's say your thyroid, and they give you a reference value. If you're in the green, the yellow, the red zone, basically, just illustratively. So what they do is they take the population average and they add a statistical trickery there, widen it by 2 standard deviations. But the problem is that the population average is not healthy, unfortunately. And then you add 2 standard deviations. So within the green ranges of the blood tests, there is already a state of disease.
Yeah, there are on that. So that's definitely true. And then there are functional ranges that they've reestablished or attempted to reestablish.
Like optimal DX, right?
Right. So there's a few different companies that have tighter ranges, which is great. And
just for my interest as well, could you name some? Because I would love to.
I don't remember, as far as a specific. I just know that, if you go through training like I had as a nutritionist, you start to, you're taught different ranges. So instead of this large range from 1 to 6 on TSH for thyroid, it's, much tighter. Mm-hmm. And, so
if we do find something later on, I'm gonna add it to the show notes.
Sure, yeah. The thing, so I could give you an example with iron and blood, for example, and this is really important. This will very possibly save lives. So with iron and blood, a lot of people, especially if they're women and they're menstruating, but this could be guys too. In general, if you're ever male or female, if you're ever told this at any point in your life, no matter what your situation is, I really mean this, you can apply this to any advice you ever hear around iron levels. If they say, hey, your results came back and you're low in iron and you're looking at blood, what's actually happening most of the time is your body, you're actually so high in iron that the body's taking it out of the blood where it's doing damage and causing damage to your veins, your capillaries, your endothelial function. It's being nicked. You can imagine little particles of metal falling through the bloodstream, being pumped through the bloodstream and causing nicks. The body goes, oh, too much of that, and sticks it where? Sticks it in the tissues. So, because it goes, it's too important, the blood, the pH, all these things. The only problem is that raises the hallmark of aging, which is called oxidative stress for people. So that leads to going gray faster. That leads to low energy and chronic fatigue. So if you've ever fatigue is one of the number one things people come to us for. They're like, I want more energy, whether they're fit or overweight, either way. They're like, yeah, I just want more energy, which is, it's true. That's really what I mean by nutrition becoming personality, is when we get these things right, and we have an iron recycling system in the body that most people have no idea about. It seems like even a lot of the top doctors in the world that are otherwise genius, they just aren't ever taught this, and they do not know that over 95% of the iron that is consumed is recycled. So I give blood as a guy every 2 months, and based on my levels in hair, and I feel better, I feel lighter, I feel less angry. Iron is an archaic masculine element, and it really is just anger. When it's and you see that a lot with carnivore diet often. You really see that both men and women, they're just snappier, their personality does shift, and I've seen it. And it doesn't mean that that's not right for a while, but I view that as an elimination diet. I'm sorry if that hurts someone's feelings, but all diets eventually fail. And the reason why is because you're eating a slice of the pie. If you're eating a narrow food group, that narrow food group has, by definition, again, don't be upset with me, this is just the reality of it. I'm sorry, I wish it was easier, but that narrow slice of the pie has certain micronutrients in it, which is really the reason why you eat food in general, besides it just tastes good. So imagine you're eating a lot of iron, you're getting some manganese, you're getting some magnesium, you're getting some et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But you're getting too much of this stuff and not enough of this other stuff. And what I really want to impress in people's mind, we see this in hair testing, is in that at-home kit they can ship to you, is we see ratios. So we see iron to copper ratios. And we see zinc to copper ratios, and that all tells us about the person's emotional state, just like sodium to potassium, calcium to magnesium, so on and so forth.
That's what I wanted to know as well about copper specifically, because how copper, magnesium, iron, how the entire, let's call it a funnel, is working.
Yeah.
So also zinc. So if you have low levels of copper, you cannot supplement with copper, correct?
No, you can. You can if it's bioavailable, yeah.
Okay.
Like we have a copper supplement that a lot of people use to help with this problem when they have iron overload, because without copper, your utilization of iron is not possible. And that's essential because iron is the only element that carries oxygen throughout the body.
And even testing your bloods for copper is ridiculously expensive.
Yeah, and
the blood test is like €100.
We can do it so easily. We can do everything, test and consultation for like, I don't know, €250 or something, if people buy it on subscription. So because this is really ideally done quarterly, so that you get the map.
Yeah.
So we see copper, we see like 60 elements, and more importantly than all these different elements, we see the ratios of the most important ones.
Do you need to test the bloods with the hair, or is it enough just to do the hair?
No, you don't, because we're seeing, for example, if you have a low thyroid, so hypothyroid, we'll see that in hair. Dutch test is all around adrenal function. We'll see that in hair. And I've done all these tests and many others, spent more in testing than almost anyone I know, and evaluate all these different methods. And I gotta tell you that I've spent literally thousands and thousands of dollars many times and seen and gotten very marginal benefit beyond that, with the exception of also doing gut testing as well. So I'm a fan of doing gut testing too.
What kind of gut testing though?
I like GI map. Yeah, I think that's the one with the most research. I know.
Did you know about diagnostics, right?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
Because like I know a lot of other gut testing things. Are completely. It's like reading tea leaves because there's no standards.
You should have a consultation with someone that's a genius in that area, and no matter if you're smart and you're very well educated in every other area of nutrition, if you don't know the inside out truly, if you haven't spent months doing consultations and learning, then you should pay for a consultation, because you'll get marginal benefit from not doing it. I tell people this all the time, and I think people they just get excited, they do the test, and anyway, our practitioners can help with that too, even privately. But I think that it's really valuable if you're going to start with one test and you have a limited budget, do hair. You see the most, it's the whole periodic table, and we understand that's something we agree on as a world society, that these are the elements that exist on the planet. So if you do some other test and you ignore that, it's really dumb. Let's be honest. It's just dumb. Like, don't do it. It's hubris. It's like, when you think about it, I'll be fine. No, it's literally like being blindfolded on a rooftop 60 floors up, and it's windy and there's no guardrails, and it's like, here you go. Here's the blindfold. You got to put it on, walk in a big circle, and try not to fall off, because you don't have the map. You don't know where you are in relationship. And gravity is the thing that we're worried about killing us there. Here, it's just entropy is increasing whenever you have your elements out of balance.